Good evening and welcome to Talking Together. Glad to have you with us again. If you are a first-time watcher, listener, we are very glad to have you. This conversation, this recording is all about trying to get better at having good conversations with people. So if you're a conversation seeker, we're glad to have you. We've been doing a variety of recordings and writing some stuff down for you to look at, giving all kinds of different advice on how to have good conversations, meaningful conversations. We've been doing it since at least June, probably since last May. We've taken a few breaks, but we've been pretty consistent. If you'd like to see some of the stuff that we have done, get in contact with me. We kind of have our stuff all over the place as we try to find the best platform right now. So we have some podcasts on Anchor. We have some recordings on YouTube. We have had quite a bit of stuff on our website called Talking Together, but some of that got lost and needs to be put on there again. So let me know if you're interested, and we'll get you caught up. We'll get you up to speed. What we've been talking about is a very particular kind of conversation, one of the most challenging, one that at least with some people we dread. We dread having to have this conversation. On the other hand, with other people, we kind of relish the opportunity. We're talking about the rebuke. When we're in a position to correct somebody else, and you have to admit it, no matter who you are, no matter what your personality is, sometimes you relish the opportunity, right, to correct somebody. On the other hand, there are occasions when you are scared to death to do it. You don't want to have to do it because you know it's going to make somebody angry. And in this time, it's not somebody that you want to make angry. It's somebody you want to continue to have a relationship with. So you're tempted not to say anything. So we've been talking about this. What we've been doing is looking at examples, letters, essays, things from throughout history, examples of people who have given us some advice or given us some examples that we can follow if it's good advice, if it's a good example. On the other hand, you may disagree. You may think it's a bad example. The only way I know what you think is if you do, guess what? Let me know. If you comment, if you ask questions, if you share your thoughts. Last week, I shared with you what, in my opinion, is one of the greatest examples in letter form of a rebuke that I've ever seen, written by George MacDonald to his son, Greville. I read it twice, hoping to get some questions or some comments. I didn't get any. And I will admit to you, a little disappointed about that. I'm not going to comment on the letter unless I get questions or comments from you, the listener. So that's done and gone. Maybe we'll revisit it another time if there's outrage from the listeners. Not expecting that. But we're going to move on. And if you want me to comment on this further, share my thoughts, if you have something that you would like to say and for me to comment on your thoughts or your questions, you got to let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to read this and we'll be done. The advice today is not an example. It is advice, and it's given by the Roman politician whose name was Cicero. Cicero says this about correction. He says, when we wish to correct with advantage and to show another that he errs, we must notice from what side he views the matter, for on that side it is usually true. And we must admit that truth to him. But we must also reveal to him the side on which it is false. He is satisfied with that, for he sees that he was not mistaken, and that he only failed to see all sides. Now, no one is offended at not seeing everything, but one does not like to be mistaken. And that perhaps arises from the fact that man naturally cannot see everything, and that naturally he cannot err in the side he looks at, since the perceptions of our senses are always true. That's a lot to think about, isn't it? If you'd like to ask some questions, to talk about it further, you think there's some good advice, maybe some bad advice, you're going to have to let me know what you think. And then we'll talk about it further. If you let me know in the next 2 days, then come around Saturday, we'll continue the conversation. I hope that you find something valuable here, and I look forward to hearing what you think. Have a great week.